People aren't meant to be together forever.
You think so?
Yeah.
Can't. What if you decide to go be a painter and then you realize I don't fit into your life anymore and 3 months becomes forever?
Marshall!
Because if you can't promise me that we should just break up right now, I'm not going to wait around for 3 months just to have my heart ripped out.
You're a good man. In fact, you're a wonderful man. You're much better than you give yourself credit for. Nobody wants to be the one who runs away.
I'm not running away.
It's not your choice. Let's just go home. We can even make love. And then you have to leave.
Hey, you're the one who ended it, remember?
Yeah, because I was mad at you, not because I stopped loving you. Look at yourself, Jordan. Sick. You're a sick man.
Fuck you. And you're gonna show me what it is you're gonna do with Mike, okay? No one else is gonna love you like me. Don't make this fucking harder.
This isn't working, Sam.
Don't do this again. I'm her father.
I want you to get everything you want. That can't happen if I'm holding you back.
Only way I can save you.
If that's the only way, I don't want to be saved. Please go.
But I love you.
I can't. I can't love you. I just can't. Please understand.
No, I'll go. But don't you dare ask me to understand.
Planetina, I'm so sorry.
You.
Ginny cheated on you? Yep. She had sex with Marcus.
I told you I loved you.
Hunter, I feel so much love for you. I also love Marcus.
Dad, Mom was cheating on you.
I fucked Ted.
But that guy can fuck you all night, huh?
Don't make it ugly.
I planned on going to the concert. It's just I stopped by Johnny O.
It doesn't fucking matter, okay? Would you just leave my room and shut the door?
Jesus.
Please.
I didn't really know that the concert mattered all that much to you.
Exactly. I don't know how we got here.
Maybe Princess Cinderella lived happily ever after. Oh, no ogres. Let's see, Snow White, the handsome prince. Oh, no ogres. Sleeping Beauty. Oh, no ogres. Hansel and Gretel. No. Thumbelina. No. The Golden Bird. The Little Mermaid. Pretty Woman. No, 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 no. You see, ogres don't live happily ever after.
Divorce rates by marriage order. Divorce rates increase significantly with each marriage. 41% of first marriages, 60% of second, and 73% of third marriages end in divorce. These numbers reveal a deep truth. While experience can bring wisdom, unresolved patterns, emotional baggage, and rushed decisions often carry over, each marriage isn't just a new beginning. It's a reflection of the lessons or the lack of from the past. Love can return, but lasting commitment takes healing, growth, and intentional effort. The question I asked this week on this topic is, why do so many people put in maximum effort, attention, affection, time when trying to win a partner, but then that effort seems to fade after marriage? From your perspective, what do you think causes that shift, and what are some things people can actually do to maintain a strong, lasting marriage and avoid ending up in divorce? With that being said, if you want to go ahead and give your opinions in the comments, do so in below. But now that we saw what happens during a divorce, let's see how we can avoid ending up in divorce, like the scenarios in there. So let's get into the video, and if you like it, like and subscribe for more stuff like this. Let's get into it. Enjoy the video. Take it easy, guys. See you later.
There's a rule, right? It's called the twos rule. Every 2 weeks, you go out and have dinner. Every 2 months, you go out for a weekend. Every 2 years, you go out for 2 weeks. And that's supposed to keep your relationship alive. That's what I heard. Me personally, I'm not married, but I mean, it's something to look into.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't really, I haven't gotten the opportunity to really be affectionate towards someone, but my parents they did get divorced. And from their perspective, by watching them, I think normally what leads to that is once you get married, the spouse, they normally think that they don't need to try anymore. So they tend to not give affection or anything. So that normally fades. Like my parents haven't been on a date in like 23 years. So yeah, and they've been married for like 30. And I think it kind of just fades because once you're with the person, you don't think they'll leave, so you don't really need to try anymore to ever do anything. And it especially fades when you have kids. And when you're not spending enough time with the person. And like me and my boyfriend, what we do, we'll normally do like monthly check-ins. Where we'll check in and like reintroduce ourselves basically. And I know one couple actually every year they'll like redo their vows with each other. Or like every 7 years. Another couple did it because a lot of people say that you change every 7 years. Yeah, and a lot of people when they get married, like if they're married for 20 years, 20 years later, you're not the same person that you were. And typically people don't like the person that they have became. Like my mom doesn't, that's why they lead to divorce. And some people just fall in love too quickly, and then they get married, and then they're like, oh, I actually don't like you, so I'm not gonna show any more affection to you anymore.
So I've never been married, and I have watched very loving marriages in most of my families. So I know a lot of like basic reasonings, and I know a lot of basic statistics. I've watched and reviewed a lot of different people's views on things like that. But it really depends on the individuals and the relationships they want. However, usually a lot of male perspective that I've noticed and realized is there's a lot of pursuit when being in and having a relationship, and there's a lot of payoff for being married. And some men, not all, but some men tend to see marriage as a finish line, and they get better life and better career when they have a wife. They end up getting more money statistically and stuff like that. So in perspective of societal norms, life tends to get easier for men after they get married. So they find that an end goal. Well, females and women tend to find it we tend to need a lot of emotional support, especially because we're very emotional driven, and we want a more deeper, more set, compassionate viewing after marriage. So we still want a lot of those simple, sweet gestures after marriage, but a lot of men tend to feel as though those are things to get a woman, but those are things that keep a woman. So it tends to be a mental disconnect a lot of times when it comes to stuff like that. But it also really depends on the relationship that you have, because, you know, there's also a deep level of commitment, respect, and love, and those go probably the farthest in most relationships. And there are people that end up marrying somebody because they think they can't do better, or they think they can't have the thing that they truly want or the relationship that they truly want, so they settle, and then they get miserable because they've settled. So they kind of sit in their own stagnation and get very miserable by it, and then they want to blame the other person, which leads them to have unpleasant behaviors, and even downright disrespectful ones, which can lead relationships to end up being very toxic. And then there's the small minority where after they've gotten married, they feel as though they can let out their actual toxic behaviors or their actual personality, which sometimes tends to be a lot worse, especially with people that are undiagnosed with like things like narcissism and stuff like that. So since they've gotten somebody involved with them, they've locked them in, now they're married, they can just let go of all of their normal behaviors to try and keep somebody. People that don't have empathy, like they were just born without empathy naturally. So those people have done the show and the charade to get married, and now that the marriage is done, they no longer have to pretend to be that person to keep their partner. They have their partner now, so they can get all the benefits of it and no longer have to work for it. However, the partner feels, very hurt because, they've showed their true intentions. So it really is like dependent on the person to person,
I want to be popular
the
at
relationship
school.
that you want,
I want to be a more complete woman.
and what people find in goals and values, because men and women tend to see not eye to eye in some of those perspectives. So there's a bunch of variation when it comes to stuff like that, which is why sometimes it can be very difficult to weed out somebody that you should or shouldn't marry, because they tend to show their true colors once they believe they're truly, they've gotten the goal, and that's it. The finish line is marriage, and like that's it for a lot of people. But it really shouldn't. It should be there should be never a finish line. There should always be the goal to love each other and keep moving forward through the bad times and filling the joyful times with each other instead of bringing each other down during the joyous times. And that tends to build some of the strongest lasting relationships. But that's just how I've seen a lot of successful marriages. But I mostly see successful ones. But they can get bored during the marriage, and then they seek other approval from other people and not necessarily their partner, and then that goes to make them start to not be very respectful in the relationship, which can lead it to get very awful or toxic, and then it breaks apart after that, when really they should be putting extra initiative into their partner and really building up each other to try and figure stuff out and get to a better realm of empathy, emotional bonding, and continuing on to your future.
Chase is over after marriage usually. You have to constantly pursue your partner. Okay.
I guess they feel like they already have what they wanted, so they like whenever you work towards a goal and you're saving up money for it, you get that thing and you stop saving money. I don't know. Stop putting time and effort into trying to get that thing because you already got it. Which I don't like when people do that. With physical things it's fine, but with people it's fucked up.
I feel like a lot of times it's you work towards that goal and then you have it and then you get too comfortable. And instead of doing things like you did before, or doing things that are new, exciting, you kind of set yourself in a pace, and it turns out stale because it's the same thing over and over and over again, I guess. Yeah. It becomes predictable. And without an element of something new, sometimes, depending on the people, it turns into a rut, and then that can cause a wall between people. Because sometimes you never know how the other person feels, right? Like the person setting the pace, because if you, not always, but there's a lot of times there'll be one person that sets the pace, and then the other person just kind of follows because they're too nice to say something, or they don't know how to talk about it or bring it up. And it ends up inevitably just someone gets bored, or someone feels like they're not getting the same amount of attention or love or care that they got at the beginning, and it can cause I
liked what you said about people being too comfortable. They feel like they don't have to work for it anymore.
Yeah.
Like they don't have to put effort into someone's time, or I don't know, and then whenever that gets reciprocated towards them, they'll understand. But I feel like it's when that happens, usually it's one person, they both they start strong because one of them started strong, and then the other one falls off because he's like, oh, I already got it, I already got her, and then she keeps going, but she feels like she's not getting anything back because he's comfortable.
Yeah, it's like you build a foundation, you get comfortable in that foundation, you stop halfway through. But with friendships, romantic relationships, you're constantly building on top of that. And at some point, I feel like some people are like, oh, I'm comfortable at this. I like, this is a nice spot. And then they stop building on that and they continue with the same process every day. So you could go from texting every day to texting every other day, and then it just
snowballs.
Like, you could have a strong foundation, but if you don't build upon that, then it's like, what's the point of having it?
Me and my boyfriend, we're very set on having like a date night each week because of like we want to learn about each other. We don't want something like that to happen, like where we just lose interest because it got boring. Thing over and over.
Yeah.
Feels like no effort's being reciprocated.
Yeah.
Can I finger you?
No.
They're like, oh, I actually don't like you, so I'm not gonna show any more affection to you anymore.
I mean, hey, if there's any people that are good for content farming, it's VR chat. You can't lie.
I can't lie.
Dude, that's why it's funny.
Oh.
Oh, look at you! You're the little fox, dude. Watch here, I'll post up real quick. Oh!
Oh, damn.
Damn.
Good work. You must be pretty fit.
All the time, I just can't help it. It's just an instinct.
Jeez. Well, calm down there, sister. I don't know. That girl diddly is like saying she's looking for a guy to rape. That's kind of creepy.
Chill. What do you think causes that shift, and what are some things people can actually do to maintain a strong lasting marriage and avoiding up and divorce?
What the fuck is he yapping about?
And then you weren't receiving back. They found you.
That's me, big dog. That's me.
Bro, they need to put your ass
I'm
back
sorry.
in the freezer.
No, you're okay.
Yeah, you wanna touch me?
No, thank you, sir. I'm fine.
Why not?
I host a social.
Is it on YouTube? Bruh, fucking dyslexic strikes again. Dyslexia strikes again. My autism is on full display. Yay! Fuck, that's right. Yay! Autism gets views! Yay!